Hey everybody, Current Timeline Charlie here. I just wanted to take a real quick minute here before our Christmas episode starts to let everyone know that we guest appeared on a couple of fantastic podcasts to help them kind of spread the Christmas cheer. First off, we went over to our buddies at Flicks and Friends and helped them cover Die Hard. Man, this episode was a lot of fun. Yes, we've covered it here, but I will always take an excuse to go cover it again on another show. Also, fun fact, someone on that episode had not ever seen Die Hard till this year. And no, they're not 5 years old. So that's going to be interesting for you to listen to. And after that, we also appeared on the show called The Evil Deaths. You may have heard us on here lamenting on, them kind of goading us into watching Feast. Well, that wound's still fresh right now. Nate has even gone over onto their show and they covered Slime Bolorama. Well, they invited us over for something we've never done before, and that was to cover a short film. Literally a 14-minute long film called Treevenge. And let me tell you, this movie had more to it than 4 hours of Feast had to it. I'm not joking. We had an absolute blast with those guys over there talking about killer trees at Christmas time. And it was a hoot, as Pete would say. So just wanted to jump on here, give everybody some current timeline things that are happening in our world right now for Christmas. So yeah, make sure you go check out those episodes. We had a lot of fun. Again, that's Flicks and Friends and The Evil Deaths. Please go check those guys out and everyone else that we support on our show and have a lot of fun with. And if you want to stay up with that, make sure you're checking us out over on all our socials on Instagram and Facebook. And without further ado, let's jump into our Christmas episode, Violent Night.
Murdoch, I'm coming to get you.
Remember, Sally, when I promised to kill you last? I lied. Get off my plane.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
John, I'm not gonna shoot you between the eyes. Shoot you between the balls.
The disease, but I'm the cure.
I'm gonna take you to the bank, Senator Trent. There can be only one.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yippee-ki-yay. I'm going to kill them all, sir.
Merry Christmas and welcome to another episode of Gimme Back My Action Movies, the podcast. I am jolly old Saint Charlie, and with me as always are my two elves, my lead elf, hungover Nate, tired Nate.
He looks both.
Hey, little B. Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah.
I decided to be in a Santa character for this episode.
Oh, okay. So I shouldn't have lied.
Also, after a night out in the bar where no bar was made.
That's right. Just don't puke on the keyboard. That's all I ask.
It's on him.
And beside him is our tech guru elf, Pete.
Hello. I have so much fun with this with this movie. Oh my! And I guess my voice is a little messed up too today. So, whew.
Well, as everyone probably knows, and we've said it before, we are actually recording these ahead of time, so we are trying to be in a Christmas spirit, and we haven't even got to Thanksgiving yet, but we'll make it work. After watching this movie last night, I am totally in the Christmas spirit.
Oh.
I am hyped. I am ready. We are covering Violent Night.
Yes.
This came out last year, and let me tell you, I don't think I've been more hyped for a movie after I saw a trailer than I had for this movie right here.
Oh, interesting.
It was
Mine was the opposite reaction.
I know. I felt like I defended this movie so much last year for people. I'm like, no, this is going to be fantastic. It's going to be great. Everyone else is like, it's going to be dumb. It's going to be stupid. I knew it was 87 North, which is probably one of my favorite films.
And I did not when I saw the trailer. So,
and I mean, these are the guys that did Nobody. They did Bullet Train. They're involved with John Wick. I was like, I knew the action pedigree going into this, and I watched this in theaters immediately. I know we're kind of jumping the gun here a bit, but I I'm hyped, man. I'm still riding the high of watching this last night. We have watched so many movies this week and a half.
Yes,
just trying to get things prepped up for our
I'm
holiday
still
break.
trying to get through movies, and
I got 2 more to go.
Tired.
Yeah, I got half of one to go, and I'm good.
Yeah, I got 2 more to go. But last night was just Charlie smiling. I could feel the smile on my face, and not like I'd be watching the movie and then I'd realize like, oh shit, I'm just smiling this entire movie. Never picked up my phone. I had watched this in theaters, and I purposely have not watched it till now because I wanted it to be Christmas. I wanted it to be as close to Christmas, but since we're covering it, it worked. And it did everything I wanted. I was enjoying it just as much as I did in the movie theater.
Excellent.
Yeah. So tell you what, boys, speaking of movie theater, let's get everybody else in the mood. Maybe give Nate a chance to take a couple of 5-hour shots that he thinks are going to stack.
I need them to stack as soon as possible.
Is it how they work? I don't think.
Oh, it's not how they work.
No, today this is the only thing that's going to save me.
It's going to be Christmas magic. I don't know how it works, but here is the Violent Night trailer. We'll be back.
You ain't driving, are you?
I steer a little, but the reindeer do most of the work.
This is my 4th year as a Santa. How about you?
I started the whole damn thing.
It's Christmas!
We decided that you could have one gift.
Early.
What is it?
That is a direct hotline to Santa Claus himself.
I can talk to Santa.
All right, revelers. Welcome to your worst Christmas ever.
Let's go!
You have $300 million in your personal vault. That's what I want for Christmas.
I don't want any trouble, okay? Something's gonna scooch up that chimney.
Who is he? Because he's not your typical mall Santa.
Are you there? Daddy said you were very busy tonight. My name is Trudy Lightstone. Are you gonna help us, Santa?
Yeah, Trudy.
Santa?
You're on my nice list. Santa Claus is coming to town. Time for some season's beatings.
Who the hell are you?
Boss, what if he really is the real...
No such thing as Santa.
These bad men, they're all on my naughty list. Naughty. That's naughty!
And what do you do to the naughty ones?
I give them a lump of coal.
Where is it?
I gotta watch.
I believe in you, Santa.
Come on. Which one of you did that? Prancer? So unprofessional.
I don't know how anyone couldn't have been hyped after watching that trailer, man.
That song alone with Darlene Love is one of my favorites.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard it first for Gremlins, and when they brought it back for this one, I can't get enough of this song.
The trailer is definitely better after seeing the movie. I guess
that's not the purpose of a trailer, Nate.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, like for me, when I first saw the trailer last year, I was like, "Oh, this looks terrible." But also, I hate anything that deals with like, let's make Santa be the bad guy or a badass. Like, I just think it's a cheap cop out. That's why, like, I think, what is it that? Like Terrifier's doing Christmas next year. It makes me roll my eyes.
Oh.
That Santa, Bloody Santa last year, I rolled my eyes at, but I actually was pleasantly surprised with. Just anything like that, I just think is silly and stupid. So I was just like, God, David Harbour is going to be in a really shitty, stupid movie again, just like Hellboy.
Oh,
That
that's
wasn't
so disappointing.
shitty stupid. Would you stop it,
was.
with Hellboy?
And then
Oh, god damn it.
how much this movie blew me away, but also how like kind-hearted and Christmas it is. Like this movie pulls off a lot of the impossible.
They nail this movie. Pete, I'll get to you in a second. I know I kind of just laid into what I said. So we covered this back last year on the Action Elite, which we kind of compared this and Fat Man, which Fat Man with Mel Gibson, which is more of a real world version. I enjoy that movie too.
I fell asleep with it and then never came back to it.
Bah humbug.
You need to quit watching stuff when you're tired, man.
But I just quit being tired, man.
I told
the concerts.
Yeah, right. We got to record tomorrow. Maybe I should be fresh and perky. No,
never
fresh and perky. But I had said on there when I went to the theater, I took Anthony and Jackie to see this, and it wasn't like packed, but there was quite a few people there watching it. And the first couple of kills happen, and it's stone silent in the theater. And as the movie starts ramping up, I get more animated and I'm cheering when it happens. And I swear to you, people were just kind of look around like, wait, is it cool if we start cheering? And before we were done with the movie, I had the entire theater cheering with me when insane shit happened. Like I really got the energy up in there, and everyone walked out of that place going, that was fun as all get out.
Mm-hmm.
And I swear, if I hadn't been there, everyone probably would have just been like, oh, that was kind of cool. I turned it into a big movie night with the people. I did. And
You're
not
the hype guy.
Not obnoxiously.
You were Flavor Flav.
Yeah, not obnoxiously, but when something happened, I would be like, yes!
Yeah.
Or I would laugh like you're supposed to at a movie. And it was just a lot of fun, man.
That's what we miss with streaming at home all the time. You
get those kind of interactions.
That's old man Pete talking, but
it is.
It's a double-edged sword, though. I remember a kid crying in the middle of watching, me going, "Why did you bring your baby?
Why did you bring your
to
baby?
a 3-hour movie? Why'd you do this? Get a babysitter. Just don't go out.
Just don't go out.
I don't know. You're the one that decided to have a kid. Now your kid is my problem. Stop it.
Wow."
Stop making your kid my problem. I'm not a babysitter. Pay me. Pete, what about you, bub? What was your first experience seeing the trailer for this or watching it or anything?
Yeah, famously, I don't watch trailers, so I
know
was not. I didn't watch a trailer for this, and I saw Violent Night. I saw the title of the film, and I thought it was going to be a bad Santa. I thought it was going to be an evil Santa. Like, what did Goldberg do a?
Yeah,
like Santa Claus or something dumb
Santa
like that.
Sleigh.
But that was it. That was it. And he was the opposite. He was Krampus or whatever he was.
Right.
So I just by the poster and the movie's title, I thought it was going to be. I thought he was going to be bad. I thought like David Harbour was going to be, I don't know, stealing or kicking ass or something like that. So I had very little interest in seeing this. And then you hyped it up so much, Charlie. I went, fine, I'll go get it. And I got it from the library.
Damn it.
And yep, I sure did. That's how I watch it this time too. Even though it's on Prime, I got it from the library. And it blew me away. Right away when they start with him in the bar and he's drunk, I'm like, oh, this is where he cracks and starts acting out against the public and the children that he supposedly supports. That's where I thought this was going. And then he turns into a bit of a buffoon at the beginning of the mansion bit. I'm like, okay, this has my interest now. And it just snowballed from there. See what I did? It just the ridiculous ramped up, and even like Santa's character arc is really interesting. How he starts as a bumbling buffoon and kind of failing upwards, and getting out of these sticky situations, and turning into a complete badass at the end, defending this family as best he can. It was just wonderful. I was actively cheering, just like you, Charlie. Even this morning when I was flipping through, I was just fast forwarding through the movie into the goodie bits, and laughing and cheering and just all over again. Even though I knew what was going on, I had just watched it a couple days ago. This is a delight. This movie is so much fun.
Movie has a lot of heart.
It does. You
That's
care
the
about
thing that's so
you care about
shocking
all the
about it.
characters. You care
Yeah.
about the bad guys. You hate the bad guys. I mean, they're bad guys, but
Yeah.
and,
They are on the naughty
they
list
make you
for a
so
reason.
angry.
But like even to have the beginning where Santa doesn't believe in himself,
Mhm.
and by the end he believes in himself, and like the magic of Christmas joy and just like the little girl believing in him, like there's a lot that just like comes together for this movie. By all means, like this should never work, this should never work, this should be dumb, but it's not. And like
It did. It worked on
when
every
it's
level.
badass, it's extremely badass.
Yeah.
Like it's a lot of fun. John Leguizamo is a phenomenal bad guy. Like,
Yeah, we
This
love
is
our
turning
John
into the John
Leguizamo.
Leguizamo.
yeah, like,
show.
he's so good in this though.
How many?
This
how
is
many movies
this is
have
the
we covered?
third
This is
one
three?
in,
Yeah.
in 12 months for John Leguizamo for us. So I'm digging it.
David
There's-
Harbour is David
David
Santa
Harbour
Claus now.
sells
Yeah.
it. He's so good.
Like he's so good. And like the moment when he like takes the robe off and just like all the Viking tattoos and just
Mhm.
like he is
Who
a
is this guy?
big dude, but he's not
Yeah.
an Arnold guy. He's just, got this stature to him that is so intimidating.
Yeah, us big dudes, are strong. We don't have to have our muscles showing,
Right,
but
right.
we got that farm boy strength. We got that
Mhm.
Viking strength. That there is a perfect blend that 87 North figured out. Is this has to feel like the Christmas movies we all grew up with. It has to. It's in a lot of it, and we talk a little bit about it here on the show, but this one I was noticing it way more last night. Their blend of music, depending on what's going on in this movie,
Oh,
is
it's brilliant.
it's what drives your emotional attachment to it. Like every time Santa is like on the screen, it's very Christmassy, but when the action happens, it's still Christmas music, but it gets a little darker or a little heavier. It's just this beautifully blended soundtrack. And these guys sat down and had to have watched every Christmas movie
No shit.
for
Yeah.
for like a year. This is truly 1000% a movie for this show. This is the give me back my action movies, but this is also like give me back my John Hughes movies, my Chris Columbus movies. They took them all, they blended them together and gave us this almost perfection of action / Christmas. Even when he is killing people, I'm feeling Christmassy the entire time.
Because he's getting rid of the naughty people.
They're all on the naughty list.
All
Yeah,
of the naughty
every last
list,
one of 'em.
man. And just that he doesn't quite know how the magic works, which I love that angle of it.
Just a good gag all around of just like I still don't quite understand how it all comes together.
It's almost like, my guess is if I had to make my own backstory, which I would love to see a little bit more of his backstory being the Viking, what happened. Well, normally in that type of mythology is you die in battle, the Valkyries take you to Valhalla. But this guy, they were probably like, don't know if he deserves it. Let's kind of teach him a lesson on,
That's kind of where I
doing
took
for
it too.
others.
Like
You're
he
blessed
was
or cursed
someone
to
that
walk the earth, in servitude of people.
not hell, but
Right.
you got to do nice things for a long time to earn
Mhm.
your way back into
It's like-
Valhalla.
he was not
Yeah.
a very nice person, but I feel like he was a very excellent warrior. It's just he was not nice to his opponents.
Exactly. They're kind
You
of like,
know?
I don't know.
Like
It's
maybe he went a little too far with Skull Crusher.
it's very, hey, dude, I know I'm an axe guy, but just underneath an axe would be a hammer. I love hammers as weapons in movie, like Lord of the Rings. I think it's the Hobbit ones where the dwarf.
Gimli.
I don't know how, not Gimli, but
Not Gimli.
in the Hobbit one, the dwarves take
Oh,
the mountain. And then their relatives come, and I forget the one dwarf's name, but he has a giant effing hammer that is just, I look at it and go, I want to swing that hammer. It looks so cool to swing. And then Skull Crusher is, kind of shaped like Mjolnir. It looks badass. And then he gets a sledgehammer in this movie, and I'm shouting. I was shouting last night. Just
there's a lot of yes, exactly. And
yeah,
because of his Viking roots and him being, however old, he also doesn't use a gun at all. He doesn't know, he throws one to a family member and says, how to work one of these gizmos.
Exactly.
The whole movie, he is dispatching bad guys with just nothing but melee. There is no projectiles from him. A grenade, but a very, very comedic time grenade.
That was just an opportunity that, presented itself, so it works. No, I love the use of the surroundings, which it's Christmas and it's the surroundings. The other thing I was really keying in on last night was they did it as if we're getting ready to watch a movie about this dysfunctional family on Christmas, which is kind of a thing. You kind of expect to see it on Hallmark Channel.
That's what Krampus did.
Or a movie that's about Christmas, because the mom is, obviously it's Beverly D'Angelo from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, so you've already got some pedigree in there. The daughter, the older daughter, is very want to, do what mother says, I want to get the money. And I started noticing that the dad, the son character, is that goofy ass dad that's in all of those 80s family movies. He's overly comedic, he's overly animated, especially at the end when he's fighting and he's thinks
on top of the guy's shoulders.
He's on top of the guy's shoulder. He jumps over the hay bales. He screams like a girl. But I was just like, that's that character that they somehow put it in there, but I'm not annoyed by it. I'm actually like, yeah, that's exactly the kind of person I want to see in this movie. It's just this family. And then I love the fact that the 87 North kind of poke fun at themselves because, they're huge with stunts, they're huge with action movies. And then they have Max Steel in this movie, who is just a caricature, I'm sure, of stunt guys and actors that they run across.
He's based
constantly.
on Mark Wahlberg, because Mark Wahlberg was the one that said 9/11 wouldn't happen if he was on one of those planes.
Yeah, he had to apologize for that one. But yeah, no, it's they're able to poke fun at all this stuff, especially when he's giving the mom character the script, looking for some funding for his next. I'm big in China. Well, at least parts of China. We went to China. That's what.
For me, it's the siblings and how they make fun of each other. The daughter named her son Bertrude, and the son named his daughter Gertrude, based off their mom. And they're like, Bertrude's not even a real name. You suck up.
And look how that kid turned out.
Yeah.
You name your kid a stupid name.
But they were able to, where I feel like it's a movie that could have been done.
It brings the family together at the end, though.
It does. And even though I'm really when that kid gets punched, I was actually cheering too, because I was like, someone needs to punch the shit out of that annoying.
Yeah, when the mom gets punched,
TikToker kid. Oh yeah, when any of the bad parents get punched, I'm enjoying.
Do you know who I am? Crack. It's like, woman, I know who exactly you are.
Right, that is Edie Patterson, who's in The Righteous Gemstones on HBO. And that show is so damn funny, and she's one of the best parts of it.
I need to watch that because I like.
She is essentially playing the same character.
Oh, yeah.
Walter Goggins is phenomenal as Uncle Baby Billy.
Dude, you put him in a movie, I'm gonna watch it.
His name's Uncle Baby Billy. It's perfect.
Nothing wrong with that at all. But no, I love the stereotypical characters that they're playing in this movie. And then we have this big heist, like most action movies from the 80s. There's a bunch of money. We want to get it. This is a love letter to Die Hard, for flat out. This is another reason I was totally down to do this movie, because for every Christmas so far, we've done Die Hard. We did Die Hard 2 last year. And, Die Hard 3 doesn't have anything to do with Christmas, but it was let's do Violent Night, because that's kind of Die Hard anyway.
This
They
is as Die Hard as they get. Yeah.
When he's digging in my favorite line when I was in the theaters, he's digging through the video game. Why has no one asked for a bat? Die Hard on Blu-ray. I was like, yes, he said the thing. He said it. Yeah, opening up the big vault like they did in part 1. The bad guys at the supposed good guys at the end is the same storyline from Die Hard 2.
Yep. And they all come in on snowmobiles.
Every one of them.
We get an icicle kill even at this point. Like,
oh,
it's
God.
Die Hard 1 and 2 combined. Now the bad guys and the way they talk and the way everything moves, it reminds me of that episode of South Park where the kids get taken hostage like in Die Hard at the old timey like fair.
Yes.
Where it's the robbers are all very highly intelligent and they have this whole plan set out.
This one.
Yeah, this is essentially a live action South Park episode. Because in the episode they go to an old timey world where everyone has to stay in character as the 1700s. And the people just robbed a Burger King.
Yeah. And they're being chased by all the cops. People are getting shot. There's literally a Hans Gruber character
who's trying to keep it together because they robbed a Burger King.
I all the credit in the world to them for being able to pull off while also staying with this movie being very Christmassy and feels like one of those family movies. They made these badass henchman villains as I felt like they were really badasses, but then all of a sudden they felt like Marv and Harry from, Home Alone.
Well, they feel like they've been a team together.
Yeah, but they feel goofy at points when, the lead henchman and the girl go after, the little girl upstairs. We get the total Home Alone moment in this movie, which I adore. All of a sudden, I feel like I'm watching Harry and Marv trying to get Kevin McAllister, and only there's more blood. There's language.
No, it's what would have happened if a bowling ball actually hit someone in the face. They would die. What they did was Home Alone in real life.
Yeah, instead of a nail through the foot.
Yeah.
Yeah, bowling balls to the freaking forehead.
But I love the dialogue between the villains. Even when Candy Cane turns to Scrooge and goes, I think he might be. He's like, don't even say it. I know you're really dumb, but you're not that dumb.
I did like that. I think he really is Santa. When it starts snowing, when they're questioning him, you're just like, they play the music. It's like magical, and it's just a little girl throwing styrofoam into the heating vents. Leguizamo nails this entire role. I love him as the leader. He's very quippy. He is, he's calculated. He has a plan. I love when he's arguing with Gertrude and she's like, well, I have this and this. And he goes, I know, I did my research. I know. Yeah, exactly. It was to Charlie. I watched the movie. It was, and he works really well as a villain, which I know that they said he based like the menu was more, he based off Steven Seagal. You can't tell me though he wasn't channeling Steven Seagal in this movie as well.
No, like, he was definitely doing a way better. He was doing a Hans Gruber, not a way better one, but he was doing a way better Seagal. Could ever Seagal.
Yeah, but I mean, there was times I'm watching it going, oh, I know exactly what he's mimicking there, especially when he's doing like the hand-to-hand fighting. I was like, okay, he's doing some Seagal shit right there, and he's having a blast doing all of it. Yeah, man, I don't know. I mean, you could go through this movie scene by scene, and it's basically we could be talking about Elf or Home Alone or any of these other movies, the way it's paced, the way it's timed.
Well, it does a really good job of not making Santa instantly this badass killer. I mean, the first kill is technically an accident and him just wanting to get away. Like
he almost dies.
This is not my fight. Like, if the reindeer didn't fly off, he would have been off with them.
Yeah,
like, nope. Off to the next house.
That's what I was saying about this character arc of his. He starts out as a drunk buffoon, and by the end, he's back to his Viking roots. It's really a fun arc to watch and follow.
It is, and I like I like they add that level so that because I get if this had just started out with Santa being a badass, I would have needed to know why is Santa a badass a little bit more. But because it starts out as kind of accidental, but Santa's a big guy, so when he catches that one, when the guy tries to hit him with the rifle and he catches the rifle, you're like, okay, Santa's not small. He carries a big sack around. I'm sure he's got some, built to him. But then he gets his butt kicked the entire time. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Had it been where he was just ultimately this special ops badass, it would have kind of,
it would have not worked.
yeah, it would have watered it down for me too
Like
much.
that would have worked if you did not have Trudy and her believing in Santa, having that walkie-talkie connection with him. This
Well, he
movie
would have
fell
left.
apart.
Yeah, he would have
Yeah.
left. Yeah,
There's
Trudy
so much
is the reason
where
he stays. Yeah.
everything happens for a reason, and it works so well to the movie's advantage. Like,
Yeah,
and
also with his vulnerability, he gets beaten, he's bleeding, he gets stabbed.
yeah,
He's not invulnerable like a Seagal might be. He's showing, even though he's magical, and his magic doesn't work all the time either, which is curious, and
Because
it helps.
it's built on belief.
Right,
exactly.
Yep.
He kind of stops believing in himself at a point too. That's there's that Christmas spirit that they have to make tangible, and they do it in this movie.
Yeah, he's got magic, or he's magical, and he's very, very old, but doesn't mean he can't be killed. And that I think that gives you more investment into as he's fighting,
increases the stakes.
Right.
Yeah,
Santa could die right here. I mean, heck, he stitches himself up. That was
oh god,
it was that was badass. That's probably the point where he flipped a switch in his head and went, okay, all right, this is real. Let's get back to these Viking roots of mine. And
well, that's when he
starts get the dust off.
Let's channel those old memories, that old muscle memory of mine, and that's when he really starts to become this warrior.
Well, yeah, because you have Trudy at that point, like asking him questions, which makes him reflect back on how he even became Santa. Because we're also, she's just been told Santa doesn't exist, which is
that's right, yeah,
a very crushing moment if you're not careful with some kids. So they play it well, but she's talking to the real Santa again, pulls in these perfect Christmas feelings that I want.
And it proves with it's because it's the young person saying that Santa is real, that all the adults are even like, who is this guy? Like, who hired a Santa? Like, it takes a long time for them to finally be like, yeah, I think that really is Santa. Even after he's kicked some ass and introduced himself, and he's just like,
he's still some dude in an outfit. I mean, there's mall Santas
got a
everywhere.
trick bag, like Lozamo says. He's like, this is just some dude with a trick bag.
Right.
Almost to the very end, Legolas doesn't get it, doesn't believe in it,
does not understand. And then till the very end, when he picks up his magical scroll of who's naughty or nice, which I love how that works. And I love when he is first in the house pulling out and going, okay, I've got 5 more to go.
Yeah.
So it's
he has a kill count.
He has a kill count. It's very much like the John McClane, counting how many he's got left to go.
Yeah.
And then when the snowmobile patrol comes, and how much that list increased.
All the names.
So then you're just like, it's body count. We're going to get so many deaths.
It's so glorious. There was a point, and man, they nail it at the beginning of this movie to kind of set the tone for Santa. Was this the way Christmas as a parent? I know, you guys have families and stuff and you do Christmas, but as a parent, it's now my kids are at this age of, I want a gift card. I want this video game. And what's worse, at least kids can unwrap video games in this movie. Now most of my kids are just like, I can just download it. I just need an Xbox card. I need this. And it's it's killing me, because it's well, that kind of defeats the Christmas part. I can give you a gift card anytime, but it's also they don't touch anything else I get them. They don't. So I'm getting to this point now where it's more about just the build up to Christmas. It's the time, not so much on the day. It's the Christmas holiday in all, like an entire month of December. That's why I don't even care that the kids started watching the movies early. It's like, you know what, let's get us all in the Christmas spirit now. But seeing how disenfranchised David Harborough is, because he's putting the money in the stockings and he's just throwing shit all over the
That
place.
opening montage is so much fun.
Yeah.
And then
He's so pissed off at everything.
you get those cool little moments of where he's somewhat reminded of why he's doing it. That little girl sleeping in the crib, the child, he walks over and he puts a present right beside her, then walks over to the dad and he takes the whiskey and puts a lump of coal down there. I'm like, yes, I'm gonna get lumps of coal and I'm gonna shove them up their asses. No, you can't. Let's stay on the nice list, Trudy. Let's stay on the nice list. Butthole. Well, that's kind of on the edge there. Anus. That's the technical.
Well, that
term.
is technical.
That is the correct way. It's that, man. It's that level of in it. This is, if it wasn't for some of the language and some of the pretty grotesque violence, this would be a family Christmas movie to watch in my house. Give Liam about 2 more years.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, okay, everyone, after National
Gather
Lampoon's
around.
Christmas, we're going to watch Violent Night tonight.
Gather around, family. It's time for a tale as old as
A
time.
heartwarming tale of Violet Night.
Of the time that Santa learned to believe in himself again.
That's right. Well, this is...
And a lot of, like, David Harbour is so goddamn charismatic.
Oh,
that man rolled a nat 20 on charisma.
Yes.
And it's just like, this works so well because of his acting capabilities. And just, we already love him as Hopper on Stranger Things, but like, this is just another, like, he's just such a big old teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
He is from start probably one of my favorite characters from Stranger Things. And I know as much as Nate loves to shit on it, I love him as Hellboy. It's the closer to the comic version.
I like him as Hellboy. I fucking hate that movie.
I don't know why. It adds blood and language and gore and everything. Like, don't get me wrong, I love the Ron Perlman, Guillermo del Toro Hellboys. They're what we all started with, but I read the comics and that one is closer to the comics.
It's just bad.
It's not bad. We're covering it.
Oh, boy.
That way Pete and I could just tear it apart from limb.
Yeah, you can try while Pete sits there and goes, that was actually really good, Charlie.
Some nice CG in it.
Mila Jovovich, man, come on.
The only cool part is that woman that's the table.
That
really cool practical like demon effect.
I can't even think of what.
There's just so much. They're like, now we're in Scotland, now we're over here, now we're this. And I know the comic does that, but it doesn't work in the movie at all.
Oh boy.
Mila Jovovich is a terrible villain.
Hey Charlie, you got a commercial? I'm real uncomfortable right now.
Okay. All right. Time for a commercial. Jesus, usually I'm the one that has to do that.
I know. He's getting
and
real warm
another
in
thing
here.
about Hellboy.
After these messages.
Sharks of the Corn? Virus shark? Cocaine shark? Sharktopus? Yeah, those are all real movies. Join me, Steve Coates, as each week I take a comedic look at the bizarre world of sharksploitation cinema on Bucket of Chum, the Shark Movie Podcast.
I didn't know what to get anyone for the holidays. My Aunt Esther is always a mystery. Uncle Charlie, shopping for him is an adventure. Now, my nephew Timmy was easy. All he wanted was, hey, this from Blockbuster Video. Then it hit me. I could make everyone happy at Blockbuster. And with Blockbuster gift certificates, Aunt Esther can rent all kinds of mysteries. Uncle Charlie can choose his own adventures. And I can have a wonderful life. Blockbuster Video. Give the gift of entertainment.
We now return to the Transformers.
Bucket of Chum is doing the Lord's work. Watching all
really
those.
is.
Oh my word! I did see Cocaine Shark. Don't bother.
Yeah,
just listen to his
don't bother
episode.
with it. Yeah, it's
but
better.
the one I really want to cover is called Cruel Jaws. It's like Jaws 5.
Okay.
I watched it a couple months ago. It's wonderful.
An Italian direct-to-video.
Yeah, it's real bad.
I
It's
think
it's got Dollar Tree Hulk Hogan in it. It's very funny.
The
Ooh.
Dollar Tree.
All
I'm not
right.
kidding.
Now you have my attention.
They use
it
the
ba-
Imperial March when they take their boats out into the ocean. It's very, very funny.
I think Jackie and I watched Santa Shark or something last
Yes,
year. Good Lord.
I thought that was pretty good.
Oh, the
Santa
CG
Jaws, I think.
though. Santa Jaws, that might be it.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I don't know. The cover has a shark wearing a Santa hat.
Yeah.
Oh, that
there's
will
like-
trick
you
you
can-
sometimes.
You can hear jingle bells as the shark instead of do 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 do. You hear jingle bells.
Yeah.
Ching, 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 as he swims through the water. Very funny. Highly
we-
entertaining.
We have a long, sordid history with shark movies in my house. Ever since Jackie bought Open Water, she has not been able to live that down. And now when she picks me, she picked one called The Requiem or whatever it is with Alicia Silverstone. Worst
I don't even know that
movie
one.
I've ever seen.
Wow.
It was to the point that we just stuck it through. I got done with that movie going, I'm never going to get that time back in my life. I think I'd rather watch Open Water. And then Jackie gets even more mad at me because I won't let it go. Buybacks, I
Wow.
swear, had probably 70 copies of Open Water
There's a reason
2
for that.
weeks after it came out. And Jackie paid full price at Walmart when it came out on DVD. And I could have got it 2 weeks later for $5.
Yeah.
And I don't know why buybacks kept letting them buy that movie from people.
Yeah, eventually they'll be like, we got enough. We got enough Open Water, and we have enough of the Matrix Reloaded. We don't need any more.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm pretty sure they went out of business and there were still boxes of Open Water. They threw
I
in the
remember when I
dumpster.
tried getting rid of my copy of Matrix Reloaded, the video store went, nah, we good.
Nah, fam. We are.
We already have enough. I'm like, but I don't want it. You don't want it. We didn't ask for this sequel.
Nate, you're digitizing. I'm sure we caught all of that, but I want to see if I give you time to buffer
Catch
up.
up.
Am I caught up now?
A little closer.
All right.
All right.
Yep.
Whenever
maybe
Nate gets
any minute now.
excited, he digitizes. It's
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
what- yeah. It's because he starts moving and the video's like, sit down, motherfucker.
The internet's like, whoa, you can't be moving.
I can't be uploading all this shit.
Oh,
Stop it.
you enjoying yourself?
How dare you?
So, I mean, the one big takeaway to take it back to Violent Night is the level of violence they bring in this movie and the creativeness. Because, like you said, he's not using a gun. He has to use what's surrounding him. And for a family that hate each other, this woman goes all out for Christmas. Like, the only thing she doesn't do is a Santa because that's tacky. I was like, okay, I appreciate that because it makes sense. Even though dudes running around dressed as elves and a girl walking around with a giant peppermint on her head. Can I just say, when you're saying your freaking code names and you say, all right, peppermint, and this giant black dude's walking down like, yeah, but the girl wearing the peppermint hat is Candy Cane. It would have been funnier if the black guy was named Candy Cane. You know, little joyride inside joke there, Candy Cane. But
That's a deep cut.
that's a deep cut. Charlie dug deep for that one.
Yeah, wow.
But I don't know. But the level of, so we watch him throw a dude out the window, which is cool. I mean, it's just kind of there.
Well, dude
But
gets impaled.
He gets impaled big
Some
time.
glass stalagmite or something.
Like
right?
some sculpture for Christmas. I mean, like even the whole outside is
Yeah.
decorated. But the
she
basement,
pays to have that done. I'm certain.
oh, dude, you're talking a crap
It
ton of money.
looks and feels like Christmas at this house.
Yeah. Well, it's that whole thing of we never actually know what Kevin McAllister's dad does for a living
Yeah,
to
exactly.
live in that house.
That
Take
house.
everyone to Paris or down, wherever they go. In both
Even the New
movies.
York stay, like,
yeah,
that ain't cheap.
That ain't cheap.
no. But the fight down in the basement is really where this movie sets its feet. for the first time when he has to fight that guy. And that's the joke with, Die Hard on
Now,
Blu-ray.
there was some pinball machine violence in this.
Yeah, it
Is
was,
know.
it was
Pete okay?
traumatizing.
We have
Okay,
to
just want to make sure you're all right, Pete. Because
I'm a little.
there
I'm
should
still
have
getting
been
over it. Yeah.
a pinball trigger warning.
Trigger
Yeah.
warning.
Trigger warning.
It's
Pinball
okay.
machine gets
It was a fake
destroyed.
pinball machine. That one doesn't really exist. It was
Okay, so that's
it
good.
was a machine, but it wasn't a real one.
Okay,
Now,
well,
because
thankfully.
it's the same director as Dead Snow 2,
Yes.
means we get a lot of creative kills
Yes.
in this. To the point where Kill of the Week is going to be very difficult.
Kill of the Week's going to be hard, but in this, and speaking of, even in this fight, not all the kills make you cringe either. Sometimes it's the stuff leading up when he loads that stocking full of billiard balls.
Oh, dude, it
and
looks
crushes that dude in the hand and then smacks him in the head. But then I love what would happen? A stocking's not going to hold up to that kind of abuse, and all the balls go flying out of it after he tries to swing it a couple times.
It was such a funny shot. You weren't really expecting it. You're thinking, all right, Santa's going to just bludgeon this guy to death, and all of a sudden the sock fails and the balls go flying.
I was waiting for a joke where he because he stops for a minute and he looks at the stocking. I don't know. I would have been tempted to have him actually open it up and go, "Yep, made in China," and throw it behind him or some shit. Because it's Santa Claus. You make your own shit,
Yeah.
But just that made in China. But he didn't want to mess with the numbers they would have got from China with that one joke.
Right. You can't do that.
It's him with the dartboard and using the darts to stab the dude.
He flings those darts.
Oh, they look
out
so
of
painful.
He keeps punching them too.
He's
Yeah,
into the guy. Oh man, because this guy is a much better fighter than Santa is at this point.
Oh God, yeah.
But Santa's he's twice the man. I mean, quite literally, he's
got size on his. I mean, you throw your weight around, you can hold your own against a fighter for a while. It's definitely the dude from Bloodsport, was Van Damme. Ogre, you're just a big dude that can swing your meat hammers and you're going to land one once in a while, but this is, and then it gets the creativeness of, he's down and out. What else do I have to throw? He's smashing his head with ornaments that aren't doing anything, but then he grabs that tree star and stabs it in the dude's eye. And that yell,
good.
That yell that guy does, that was a pain yell. Someone studied before
Credit
he got his
to that actor.
he gets the Scream award.
He gets the Scream of the week for
he's
sure.
The Scream Queen of the week for sure.
Because I was like, that was, it's not your Wilhelm or just a regular. That was like, I'm in immense pain right now. And then he gets pissed off, and you're like, "Oh, this guy's still going," and he plugs the fucking lights in.
Say, yeah, it could have ended right there. They killed him, but no, it's plugging the light in and then having the man's face catch on fire, and Santa's reaction of like, "Oh,"
and he's trying to fan the smoke away from him, and he's just moving up and down and side to side, like, "Ooh, that stinks. Ooh, that was a bad idea. You shouldn't have done that." And I appreciate the storytelling tool of the walkie-talkie that the dad comes up with the way because he didn't get to take her to see Santa at the mall. Instead of, I remember way back there was like the number you could call to talk to Santa. It was the 900 number. It didn't realize it was costing you like $5 a minute to talk to Santa. But it was, here's a walkie-talkie. He only gives her one, which I thought that's great parenting. That's exactly what I would have done. You'd be lucky if the damn thing had batteries in it when I was done with it. But you can talk to Santa, and he may not respond because he's very busy tonight. I'm like, bravo, sir. Bravo.
But it's heartfelt like the whole time with this relationship between her and Santa. Just like it kind of like makes it to where like this is a very dark situation for a little girl to be involved in, but to give you like this breath of fresh air and levity to the situation.
It's Santa calming her, almost, and it works because while he's calming her down and reassuring her and building that Christmas spirit, she's building his confidence up. She's giving him something to continue fighting for. It's like, even if I die, this little girl's gonna get Christmas. God, I
And
love
for
that.
me, like, that is the stuff that I enjoy so much about this movie over the violence. The violence just happens to be the cherry on top.
That's the
like, 'cause
sprinkles,
it's like,
man.
It's just one of those. It's like, you guys just made a good Christmas movie that happens to be violent. So like, that's just something that should not work, as I've said. So when it gets to the violence too, like the whole like workshop, I don't know what building he was in, but when he finally
It's like
gets
a tool
the
shed.
sledgehammer,
Yeah, it's a tool.
Oh
There's
my
a
God.
yard crew, a maintenance crew,
Right.
that takes care.
gardener's- it's a
Yeah, the
gardener's
gardener
shed.
shed.
This is the big action scene, the one that's choreographed perfectly. And oh
It's
my
got
God.
the hilarious music behind it.
Yes, the
It's
sledgehammer
got this
kills the
jolly music behind all these ultra violent
the
smash
Happy
'em ups.
Gilmore slice and dicing with ice skates. Like,
Oh God, he cuts a guy's head off with an ice skate.
Oh, it was so glorious. The snowblower scene.
yes.
Ah, it was so
just. But again, even during all of this, we get a really cool moment of Christmas spirit because he's talking to Trudy as he goes in there and he's hiding. And she's like, "What would you wish for?" He goes, "I wish I could see Mrs. Claus again," because they explain there is a Mrs. Claus. They've been kind of, distant from each other for a while. Apparently, that's that whole cop bad marriage.
Mhm.
Haven't talked to the wife in a while.
He only works
Guy-
one day a week, God damn it.
One day a week.
Well, no,
one day a year.
according to Fat Man, it's a year-long process, man. You got to get all that shit together.
No, this is bullshit. All right. He's got 364 days he can hang out with Mrs. Claus. He's just choosing to be
Maybe
distant.
that's the problem. You just, absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Yeah,
sometimes.
that is true, actually.
That's it.
Just like,
He's
go do
always there.
something.
But he looks at his ring and the ring falls, which is very comedic, but it's the Christmas wish becoming true, and it rolls to the sledgehammer. Like, here's the tool you need to make it through tonight. He gets Skull Crusher 2.0, and I am totally down for when he grabs that sledgehammer and he spins that thing around, getting prepped up. He has that hero moment. It's almost the He-Man I have the power moment,
Right.
but it's Santa and a sledgehammer, and I love it.
David
It's
Harbour's
like-
such a big dude, and he's flipping this probably 8-pound sledgehammer around like it's nothing.
nothing.
It looks tiny in his hands. It's a wow, dude is so big.
It's
And
like
just-
the director realized no backwards claw hammers is going to work in this one. We need a
Yeah.
sledgehammer.
We need a sledgehammer at this point. But like, to me, that's the equivalent of like Commando when Arnold's getting ready. It's the same thing. There's scenes where a movie has everyone's just loading all their guns. That Hot Fuzz parodies beautifully. That just make you go like, yeah, stupid testosterone takes over a caveman brain. Bash, kill, murder. That's what happens in this scene for me.
Well, yeah, and there's little things that if you don't pay attention, it's like when he grabs that and they do that kind of spin around move, he had put his hair up into like the Viking knot in the back. Like he got the hair where it's not in his face. It's the transformation moment of, all right, gloves are coming off, quite literally.
Dude, and when people get hit with this thing, they get fucking hit.
He crushes that first dude's face. And it falls and the camera stays on the face and you're like, yeah. That's the family wholesomeness I need at Christmas right there. Crushing faces of all the naughty people in the world. Oh my God. And then I like the addition of everyone gets a body camera. You have the tech guy who's like coordinating everything and like all the cameras start.
It's the
going
Predator 2
off.
scene.
It totally is
Oh,
the
yeah.
Predator 2 scene. Gets all the way down and Santa comes out and then that tech dude takes off running and they fight and then God, the grenade, dude. It's in the
Hard
trailer.
target scene.
He
Then
drops
we get
it.
the grenade
Yep.
in the pants.
And he runs and then I gotta watch. And he turns around and looks and watches the explosion. That was the biggest yell in the theater for me,
Yeah.
and I had everyone cheering in the theater.
Turns
at that
around
moment.
giggling. Like,
Yeah,
that
like
was
cool guys walk away from explosions, but Santa watches them.
Santa watches all the body parts go flying out everywhere.
And it's like,
Oh.
you could tell he's like, it's starting to get happy that his old Viking ways are coming back to him, like he has a bloodlust. There is no doubt about it that he starts to really enjoy these kills because he's taking out naughty people. And like when he kills Candy Cane, because she's going to kill the little girl for the Home Alone scenario.
Yeah.
And just the way that he makes Trudy cover her ears, close
He's
her
like,
eyes, isn't it?
You need to turn around. Why don't you go ahead and cover your eyes? Oh, plug your ears, and why not sing Jingle Bells as loud as you can?
Yeah. And that makes that scene so much more haunting where he smashes Candy Cane and just like, you trying to kill little girls is naughty. It is naughty behavior. Like, dude is just going off on her.
Whoa, Nate, slow down. We cannot skip that whole Home Alone scene. I mean, you jumped right to the end of that, but we've got to start
You're right.
at the beginning of this. So
take me away, Pete. Take it away.
I'm going to try because there's a lot going on. And as we know, my memory isn't always the best. So the little girl is up in the attic making her own Home Alone death trap, pretty much, right?
Yep. Booby traps. I can make booby traps.
That's what I said, booby traps. And what was it? It was candy cane and
gingerbread.
Gingerbread. That's right. So they realize that she's up in the attic. Oh, and it starts right away. So the ladder comes down, right?
Yeah, it's already out, and she has the nails and the drill bits at the floor. So it's like it's not hidden, which is
it's out
brilliant.
in the open.
Yeah, it's out in the open, which
they
automatically
think like,
sets them.
She's booby trapped this, so we're gonna get around this stuff. Little do they know that there are layers upon layers of this booby trap.
She's very clever too,
clever, very clever.
There's a point in this movie. I don't know if it was purposeful, but when the dad is looking for the walkie-talkies in the game closet, most of the games are obscured except for one board game that says Mousetrap.
Yeah.
You saw it too.
Yep.
And I was like, that would be a fun little foreshadow to what this all is very Mousetrap-ish, Rube Goldberg-esque. And I'm buying all of it. Like he goes, this is usually better if you hide it. He sees the nail in the step, which is the Home Alone thing. Like, that's not going to work. You're supposed to hide it better. And then the camera pans down to show the step that is halfway sawed through, and they don't see it. And that dude jumps up on that thing, and it breaks, and he lands not through his foot, not through his hand.
It's so
that
painful.
Nail goes through the lower part of his jaw.
The soft part of under the chin. And he's screaming, and you can see the nail sticking up inside
That's
his
a
mouth.
good effect. It's so gross. It reminds me of Timothy Dalton getting
in Hot Fuzz.
In Hot Fuzz as well.
It hurts so bad. It's that and Punisher with Ray Stevenson when he runs the knife up in that dude's jaw.
Such a tender part. That's so
it's not going to kill you.
There's nothing there. Yeah, it's going to hurt, but there's nothing there.
And then to have the bowling balls start to go down.
Well, What's-Her-Face climbs over him to get up there.
Yeah, she literally climbs over
and he pulls himself up off of the nail. Oh, God. And that bowling ball hits him, and he lands on the trap that he was like, why did you put it here? When he gets up and that black, bloody gunk
so gross.
It's gross.
It's just, blood is pouring out of his butt.
He pulls that one
and
nail.
He pulls that nail out. Oh, God.
It's like there's a little hose and the bladder just goes.
Again, it's not going to kill you, but oh my God, it's going to hurt.
Yeah, you're going to have some pretty serious boo-boos.
Did the other one too? Fine. They get a little goofy when he pulls that nail out and he's looking at it straight on. That's the Marv moment. And
you're telegraphing that one a little bit.
You're telegraphing that a bowling ball is going to drive it into his forehead. The one that made me go ow after all of that was the bowling balls rolling and Candy Cane's like dancing around them, but that one hits her in the shin.
Oh,
and I'm like, oh my God, that
If
would
there was ever a, oh, you little shit. Like, that's that
it
one.
was. I wonder if that was a real bowling ball because it hits her and it knocks her leg back. If that was just like a styrofoam prop, it hit her with some weight.
That
and she
actress has
actually
to be
stumbled.
a stunt actress.
Oh, they're all
some of the
all-
stunt.
everyone,
yeah.
She
everyone
was
there.
so good. Like even with the way that she fell into the sticky trap, the way that she contorts her body,
She
and
bends
then
her
when
body
she
back.
pulls herself up, and how she like doesn't scalp herself, but it's the equivalent with just the back of her head ripping off all the hair and the bloody little.
I wish I
patch.
could have seen it because I feel like there was you see skull. I
Ugh.
wish I could see that a little bit better. But that's the big thing with 87 North. Like 90% of the cast in here are stunt people. You know that because that's how you get it to feel more real instead of having a named actor being these henchmen and having to have stunt doubles. Just let the stunt people do it. You can put them in camera the whole time, full face, and it works better because as I've grown up watching these movies, I watch a lot of them. I watch a lot of behind the scenes. You don't realize how many times you watch a movie and you're like, wow, that looked really real because it was. Because a lot of times they'll be like, I can take a punch, go for it. And they'll really take a punch, or I can really fall off of that. Just let's film it. And you're going, oh God, how did they do that? They really did it. They really hurt themselves. They really punch each other. Not all the time, but most of the time. I was watching an interview with Scott Adkins, who surprisingly wasn't in this movie, that he worked on a Jackie Chan movie early on in his career, and they were filming, and he was like, I gotta hit Jackie Chan. And he does this kick and he hits him, but not quite full power. And the director's going, more power, hit him, hit him. And they're getting ready to set up the thing again. And Jackie Chan's stunt team comes over to Scott and goes, be cautious. So he has a director yelling, hit him, and the entire stunt team going, be cautious. You're just like, I don't know what to do. But so when you learn that these guys really just kind of go for it, I appreciate what I see on screen so much more. That just makes it all the more impactful, no pun intended, that they're taking this damage. And as Nate said, we get the awesome, like she's ready to shoot the little girl, and now you piss Santa off. You know, that whole...
It's dark.
I was not expecting
real
it.
dark.
I mean,
First time
he takes a full swing at her with that sledgehammer, probably broke a ton of ribs. And
Oh,
then,
yeah.
and then
Yeah.
tells the little girl, "Hey, don't look, don't listen."
crushes her head like
Yeah.
a melon, Gallaghered her to death, which
Yep.
was awesome. If you're in the front row, you know what you're in for. Oh my God. And then, we get, Santa finally gets to the family, and we're getting to the culmination of the end. And, he gives the mom the gun because she went hunting once. So now, and I can't glaze over the two moms and the kid going ape shit on Krampus,
The henchman.
probably one of my favorite henchmen in this movie.
They
The
murdered the shit out of
Nutcracker,
that dude. Yeah.
the Nutcracker scene where they're like, let's put the guy's finger in the Nutcracker, and he crushes the finger, and he's like, no, we got this big one. Let's make it a Nutcracker. Bring his balls over here. I'm not touching his balls. I'll do it. And Krampus just raises his hand. And he's like, nom, 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 I'm going to eat your ball. So you're like, this
He's
guy's
a little
piece of
unhinged.
shit. He's a little unhinged, but I like this guy for some reason. And they just go and they shove that poker through his neck, man. And it's just, oh my
They do
God.
that, and they're also like, it feels good to finally do a family activity together.
Happy holidays, everyone.
Now, the scene that we're about to get into with the finale of when it turns into the snowmobile fight, this is where I my only criticism of the movie kind of comes
Oh,
is the movie works so well when it's contained inside the house that once they get to them leading away, like Santa running away with the sled instead of jumping on Ski to chase him down, like there's a little bit where it just feels sluggish to me. Did anyone else feel that way? Because like that to me is where the action started to lose a little bit of its amazing pace, and I was just waiting for them to get back together for that one-on-one fight with Leguizamo.
I think they have to build it up, but what I took it was the action side of me would have been like, okay, jump on the snowmobile. The Christmas side of me, he gets on the sled like in National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
I guess in my head, I was like, I just can't picture him running to get ahead of them. Well, he didn't get ahead of them, but he's like parallel to them. And then uses the sled to get them to cut off.
This is also the Commando moment when Arnold pushes the Blazer down the mountain.
Yep.
Because it's all cut back roads.
Yeah.
There's also another one that's fun is this is also a very True Lies moment when he goes running down the snow hill, sliding backwards, shooting at all of the guys that are on skis and taking them out one by one.
True Lies is so badass.
I am only holding off on that in the hopes that we get a 4K before we cover it. Fair. That is really what I'm waiting for.
The moment that we decide to cover it is when the 4K will get announced.
That's what I don't know. Should I make it happen or do I wait? I don't know. I'm so conflicted.
It paid off for us with Face Off because now that comes out. Or it already is out at this point.
Yeah, that one's out, which we'll do. So I don't know. I just equated this to, again, Santa's not a badass. Santa probably doesn't know how to ride a snowmobile.
No, totally fair.
Yeah, maybe.
And I get, they're not trained. It's like the mom when she runs outside and she tries to shoot that guy and it's out of bullets, just the click. And so now they have to go back to hand, and the dad, that's that goofy part where he puts his dukes up and he gets knocked the F out and he picks up baby Jesus and smashes, which I love that Harborough's like, excuse me, baby Jesus, and lays it down, but then the dad cracks it over top someone's head. So it's like Santa tried to take care of it. The dad's like, bam, baby Jesus to the face.
Baby Jesus to the face.
Little 9-pound, 10-ounce baby Jesus thing.
Sitting in the manger.
Sitting in the manger. That's my version of baby Jesus. That's who I'm going to pray to. I don't know. But I like the chase, and he does get on a snowmobile because he knocks the one dude out.
I like that he rides it very funky. He's going left to right.
All over.
It's very weird.
Doing, yep.
And
that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking they wanted to play it up that Santa just went with what he knew. He goes down and on a sled.
That's fair. And it was like, how do you transition to get us to this final climactic scene? Getting us away from the house because obviously the bad guys need to ride off. They need to get away.
And Leguizamo,
and to me, it was just a little clumsy. That was that's the only.
I mean, it's fair. I mean, you can critique things when you are, but I also I love the fact that it gets to the point where Leguizamo's standing there goading him, and then the camera pans down to show the tree stump right behind him as Santa's coming full speed. Because you're just like, oh shit, and he goes,
and it's a good wreck.
Oh my god, it's
a
amazing.
great wreck.
He goes, he makes it into the building before the snowmobile is how much speed he had.
And the way the snowmobile like crashes through and flips, that's the equivalent of the cop car at the climactic chase,
Oh yeah. This is every trope that's from action movies. They figure out a way to make it Christmassy in this. And then we get a good fight. That's when Leguizamo sees the naughty and nice list. He really starts questioning who he's fighting. And then everything catches on fire because the gas leak in the snowmobile. So now we have fire and explosion everywhere. They come jumping out of the building as it blows up. And Leguizamo holds his own. I mean, this is definitely not your... Like, I don't think Hans Gruber was a fighter in Die Hard.
No, he was the brains. Like, this guy is the brains and the fighting. But he's using a cliffhanger weapon.
Yeah, he has a pickaxe, which I thought was badass. And, it's a really good fight. Sledgehammer versus Pickaxe and his, is it a blackjack or a Slim Jim, whatever? What do you call those?
Yeah, it's a baton of some sort.
A baton that he uses. It's like his main weapon. So it works. It takes the guns out of the equation, which is unfair in this scenario because Santa doesn't use guns. which is why the end of it is so shocking. But we get this awesome fight. But I tell you what, when I was watching this in the theater and I saw the chimney in the background from the fire pit, I went,
Right away.
I know what's going to happen. I didn't know how brutal it was going to be.
Dude,
was it?
That is one of the most unique kills I think we've ever covered.
That honestly,
Way
like
up there.
if we have to be honest, and I think I'll say this right now, that is the kill of the week, but that's not one we're allowed to pick because you can't.
I think
can't
that's
top
fair,
it
'cause, yeah,
you can't top it. You have
even
to
down
pick
to
this
the
kill.
practical bloody
the stump. Yeah, he's
of a
holding
human
a bloody stump,
And he giggles
I
again.
did that work.
He's got this big ass smile on his face after he does it. Oh.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't even really expect that to work. And it did.
Santa shocked himself. And then, like, when he gets shot, I'm like, who the fuck is left? I don't remember.
Who's still there?
I thought it was Beverly D'Angelo or whatever, how do you pronounce her name?
I honestly wouldn't have been shocked had it been her originally.
Just her upset and just like, I don't know who this guy is. Can't trust him. Because I legit forgot that we still had one bad guy left.
Yeah. I watched it again last night going, I totally forgot that guy was still alive because he gets shot and I was like, wait, who's shooting him? I forgot about this. And I was like, oh, that's right. It's the Colonel. It's the last, it's the Black Colonel guy from Die Hard 2 that's left and fights McClane out on the wing. But it's this guy. And then Santa gets shot up and then Beverly D'Angelo shows up and shoots the dude in the head. I was like, yes!
Instantly too. Just like, there is no really like long conversation or exposition. It's just like bang.
And honestly, they've set her character up to be exactly that.
Cold-blooded,
cold-blooded, heartless. She only cares about her family. We haven't talked about the entire other subplot that the son stole money from her to get away. And she's congratulating him on that. She goes, that's exactly what I would have done. You're doing exactly what I expected. And I was like,
you're my favorite.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're my favorite kid. That's why you'll go far in this world. And I was like, I like it because there's subtle things watching it the second time because he leaves her a note to say what he did. And the Krampus dude is just being psychotic. He's wanting them to open up Christmas presents. He's just having fun with it. And she reads the note, and if you watch it the second time, she go, okay, she knows. And he gets ready to confess, and she looks at him ever so subtly and shakes her head no, like don't confess to it. Don't tell him you know where the money is. And on the second watching, I was like, I totally missed all of that. Like I didn't understand. The first time I thought the son was in on it. I thought he set everything up.
Oh no, same.
Which is kind of like they do kind of lead it like that, like a red herring, but then it's not. Now it's the other guys that are in charge of her security. But the first time I watched it, I was like, oh, the son's in on it. The son wanted the family to get robbed, to humiliate his mom, everything. No, man, totally threw me for a loop on that one. And we get our family Christmas movie back that everyone has to believe in Santa to bring him back to life. He's still shot. He's still bleeding, but
still doesn't quite understand how it all works.
Still not quite sure how the magic works.
And I'm fine with that. I don't need to know how the
I love it. You don't have to explain it. It's a perfect dialogue choice.
I think so. I think less is more.
Any sort of explanation wouldn't be satisfying.
I'm trying to remember, there's a movie recently that came out where they did time travel. It's like, it's just not even worth explaining. Like, it's just, like it would just bog you down if I were to tell you. So it's like, that was a brilliant way to just get away from like, wait, how's this time travel supposed to work? It's like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. No one's gotten it right so far, apparently, but yeah, but I like it. And, then the reindeer show back up right at the end, which I think is funny because he's yelling at them the whole time. He's mad at them. Then he realizes they brought back his spare sack. Yeah. And I caught this in the second viewing and I didn't before. He mentions the elves in the second time I watch it. Yeah. He goes, oh, you went something about when he's mad at him, I'm going to chop you guys up and feed you to the elves. He's yelling at the reindeer. And I was like, wait, so there are elves? Because I was thinking it was just the bag. Santa, Mrs. Claus, the bag makes the presents. No, there's elves in this story of Santa as well. And then we get the John McClane, chance to get back with the wife that the wife had sent Skull Crusher just in case he needed it. Because they knew something, the reindeer came. It's like there
Something
was
up.
gunshots.
Yeah.
The gunshots scared us. And Mrs. Claus sent Skull Crusher, which I was like, I kind of wanted him to use Skull Crusher, but I'm okay that
I
he
know,
at least.
but we are getting a sequel. So
Are we?
hopefully Skull Crusher, can be used. I don't know how you would do a sequel to this at all. This feels like a perfect one shot of a story.
I will agree with that, but I'm also like, I want to see what they can do. If they pulled this off, I want to see what they
Someone
can do.
said that about Die Hard, and it didn't come out.
I like Die Hard 2. Shut up.
Not
you
a good
what
movie.
Happened? You remember what happened last time? Were we going to have a repeat of Last Christmas?
Violent Night 2 could really go Die Hard 2, and that's not a good direction.
They already went Die Hard 2.
Mrs. Claus is just stuck on a plane the whole time.
It's going to be Violent Night with a Vengeance.
If they did that now, I'm all on board, because if it was Violent Night with a Vengeance, oh, buddy.
Sam Jackson makes a cameo.
Yep. And John Leguizamo's brother is out for revenge against Santa. He's been waiting an entire year for Christmas to come around.
But he's actually German, and he goes, we're half brothers.
Yes.
See?
If they don't go this direction, I'm going to be pissed.
87 North, you have my info. I've been trying to get up with you guys.
Come on, dude. How have you not gotten anyone from this production company?
Trying my
Try
hardest.
harder, boy.
I don't know what it is. I think they just like, this is that crazy super fan we have for some reason that keeps sending us 100 scripts every week. I'm sorry. I get really excited when I watch
When we
these.
get done with Neon Maniacs, it's got to go to these guys.
That's right. Yeah. I'm sorry, guys. You got bumped. I got to do Neon Maniacs first.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, let's jump into the fun part of this. Let's do the body count.
This wasn't the fun part?
It's all been.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I want to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Leave anything for us?
Just bodies. Body count. Body count. Body count. Body count.
Oh, boys.
I'm very curious.
Oh, boys.
It's a bunch.
I feel like it's a lot, but it's not overkill.
It's a contained.
Yeah.
It's not like Dead Snow.
Yes. We're not going to be 134 or whatever.
No. Now you got me questioning. There's a lot. It's It's 60.
Is it really?
60
Wow.
is the count.
Well, how many? There must have been more soldiers.
There was just a ton of soldiers then.
There was a ton of soldiers. There was actually a lot of unnamed henchmen. Plus, there's a lot of the real house help that died.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I mean, we didn't even talk about
when they infiltrate.
Dude.
They just take out everyone but the family.
The most heartbreaking moment in this movie to me, and it happened so damn early, was when Al got shot in the head, man.
Yeah.
It's like, you don't kill the Al in the movie, who's obviously Al.
Al, right.
That's who they're naming it after. I wish they would have gotten Reginald Vell Johnson to play that role. I think
that would have been amazing.
That would have been so awesome. Just a little cameo of Al working the front gate. Either it had to be something with scheduling or something. There's no way someone didn't go, let's email Reginald.
I bet we could get him.
Yeah. They're not doing a Family Matters reboot or anything like that, so it'll be fine. That's one of my favorite skits of Key and Peele is the Carl Winslow, Reginald arguing with the agent about how Urkel has taken over the show.
Oh yeah, and like Urkel comes out and he's actually a very dark character.
It's super dark. Oh my god, it's such a good skit. I love it. He turned Carl into a car and I wasn't even in the episode. It's just so good. The count I went through was 60, and honestly, there's a lot of carnage in here. He probably kills. If you look at the screen of the body cam footage of all the soldiers that are running in there, there's probably 15 guys just in that one scene because of just all the.
Oh yeah, like it's a lot. That's
Yeah.
where it's like, kill of the week's a little tricky.
Yep. So from my research on it, which is the wiki that has like the kills for fandom and stuff, and it was 60. So, and I'm subtracting. They even added potential 3 kills on the flashback where he's a Viking, and they counted him dying. I was like, you don't do that. Stop doing that. It doesn't count. He got back up. So, all right, now for all the fun we've had, now it gets hard.
Killed anyone? Yeah, but they were all bad.
We got to pick our favorite.
They were all naughty, actually.
Yeah, all of them were naughty. I'm going to give Pete some time. Nate, what is your kill of the week?
I think I'm just going to go with the entire ice skating scene with the ice blades because it's just so cool, and it ends with a great crescendo of an ice skate stuck to a pole between a man's throat, and then the body falls, and then the head.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
It's such a good gag. And it's, God, when he's slicing and dicing people up, like that, my kill of the week is multiple kills.
He pulls a wrong turn kill, when the axe comes through that chick's head, and the head's still sitting on top of the axe. Very much, I like that one. Pete, what about you, Bubba?
It's the first time Santa starts getting his groove back, I suppose. So the guy who gets the star in his eyeball, and then he turns on the electricity.
Such a good kill.
It was such a good fight too.
Yeah.
Even one of the things that made me laugh the most was David Harbour is going to try to jump over the pool table.
Yes.
And he rolls. That was me 1,000%. I think I can. Nope, can't jump it. I'm going to roll around it.
Oh, that's too hard. I'm just going to roll right over the pool table.
I just pulled a hammy. Nope. Ow. Cramp.
Yeah, it was such a crescendo or an exclamation point on the end of that fight when he just plugs that in. And I didn't see it, like the first time I watched it, I didn't see that that the star was attached to.
Yeah, I thought it was a separate star, just its own thing.
So it was a surprise when that guy turns around getting Hulkamania because he's pissed off and in pain. And
yeah.
He plugs it in and his head catches fire. Oh, God. That was...
And then fanning the smoke.
It's
just the joke just kept going.
I also like that Pete said Santa gets his groove back, because now I'm picturing a sequel could be like Stella gets her groove back, but it's Santa trying to butter up Mrs. Claus again and just like, baby, I'll be good this time. I've been away for too long.
Well, you can tell I got kids. I immediately went with the Emperor's New Groove, and I was just like, wrong lever. That's where
Kronk.
I went. Kronk. I love Kronk. Pull the lever, Kronk. Wrong lever. Oh. Well, I guess that leaves me. I do have a favorite, but and I'll tell you what my favorite is the grenade. Santa to stop and go, I gotta watch. And he turns around and it blows this dude up all in camera, in scene, body parts everywhere. I love it. But in honor of what we've done in the past couple of days, a couple of days for us, but for the past few weeks, my wintertime pick of cliffhanger, I have to honorable mention the reverse cliffhanger in this movie when the guy falls on the stalagmite instead of getting shoved up
you're
into
right.
the stalactite. I was like, it's reverse cliffhanger, bitch. I love it. So that's my honorable mention just because we covered cliffhanger not too long ago. So a lot of fun, a lot of snow in this one. I think I made up for the lack of snow and dead snow.
You did. You definitely did.
Santa hits someone with a snowball, damn it. And it's awesome.
I was waiting for the snowball to explode with Santa magic.
Or
just
go
the way that he was
through the
compacting
guy.
it. Yeah, I was like, oh, they're going to have some sort of magic gag here. When it didn't happen, I went, oh, he just threw a regular snowball. That's just funny on its own.
Santa was being a dick and put a lot of ice in it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
some gravel.
I was worried it was going to be like they were going to do a take on Elf when Will Ferrell's like throwing
he just
a
starts throwing it,
snowballs.
Really
I was like, okay, I'm glad you didn't go
gun of
that.
snowball.
Would have been awesome. But I like that they take the sack out of the equation. So now, even as he's getting better, he can't like start pulling, which would be cool if he started pulling out better weapons every time he reached into the sack.
But I like that he has no control over it. That is just
Right.
like, nope, you get a golf club. You got lucky.
I prefer that take on it as much. But if I was going to go like just fucking insane, I'd have been like, every time he reached in there and he got better, he got a better upgrade, like in a video game. It's like, you just unlocked the Gatling gun of snowballs. Just took all the bad guys out. Oh, this has been so much fun. Let's rate this bad boy. All right, let's start with Pete. Pete, what are you rating Violent Night?
I don't know if there's any flaws in this movie. And it's highly entertaining. It's 10. I mean,
yes.
Wow.
Yes. I got zero problems with this movie, and it was super fun. I want to see it again. It's a 10.
I love it. I love the energy.
We found an action movie that Pete is just fully
is
like,
amazing.
Yeah, I'm on board.
This is Speed all over again, man.
Yeah.
This is great. Nate, what about you, bub?
For me, it's a 9. My really bah humbug to all of you.
Scrooge.
that is a very high praise because I do not like Christmas movies at all, and the fact that this wins me over with Christmas spirit and like it's heartwarming and it works, and god damn is it so much fun. My only problem is just that slight slog of just trying to get Santa to the climactic fight. That's it. And like, I don't know how you fix it either. Like, it makes sense.
A whole point.
Yeah. I feel like I explained it, but it's fine.
I know you did, but it's just you did good too. Stuck at a 9.
It's fair. It's
so
9.
What about you, Charlie?
I'm standing tall with my boy Pete. This is a 10, man.
Glad when you two get the match.
This is now in the rotation for Christmas movies.
I feel that. Yeah, I feel this has earned its badge very quickly.
This is probably the one I will start watching right before I watch Die Hard to get me amped for Die Hard. You know, it's just one of those, it's going to be a tradition, man. And honestly, once, Liam's a little bit older, this will be we all get together and watch Violent Night, man. It's just so much fun that, I have no complaints about it. It gives me everything I want. They nailed the blending of something no one's tried to really do before. Like, to honestly try. I know Fat Man came out first, but Fat Man went a little darker, a little more realistic version.
I also remember, like I said, I fell asleep. But I remember just like, there's no action happening, and then I fell asleep.
It takes a little bit, but it's more of a drama. I don't want to say drama. It's not as much action as this for sure, but I do enjoy Fat Man. But this one, I'm with Pete. There's no flaws to it. There's nothing I would change. I want more. And
it left me wanting more for sure. Mm-hmm.
I never felt like this movie was way too long. I really think this one hits I want to say, I got it pulled up here on IMDb. It's an hour 52 and it didn't feel like it.
It didn't.
I know I've been complaining about long dragging movies lately, and this one is actually an hour 50 and it doesn't feel
goes. Yeah. There's not a moment where I pause it where I'm just like, oh, how much longer? No.
Yeah.
Now, unlike a certain movie that we covered for Thanksgiving, where it's part 2, and I'm like, my God, why won't this just end? And it's only an hour and 20 minutes, and it still won't end. And this is, 40 minutes longer and far more entertaining, and I don't care.
Right. Well, I'm just going to remind you picked all that.
Yeah.
That all
Trust
falls
me.
on you.
I want to punch myself in the dick.
Ow.
Why's he got to make it so painful?
I deserve it.
All right. Well, for as much as we love this, Nate, do you have a Scroogey review?
Oh, do I ever?
Oh.
I'm the trash man. I come out, I throw trash all over the ring, and then I start eating garbage. and then I pick up the trash can and I bang the guy on the head.
Oh, that's going to be a disaster.
Now, let me say, usually there are sometimes we do movies that we thoroughly enjoy, and I can't find a 1-star review, and I have to go to some other sites and stuff and find one. I got to dig one up.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure, I was like, oh, there's not going to be a single bad review for this. There is a plethora of bad reviews for this movie from the people, even though it seems to be on the same theme as this one. So here we go. This comes from R. Riley9945, who reviewed this in March of 2023, gave it 1 out of 10, and said Chris Kringle as Rambo. I am not sure how many times I'm allowed to use the word awful in an IMDb review. The script was awful. The acting was awful. The music was awful. I popped the DVD in. Thankfully, I took this out of the library. I didn't pay to see it in the movies, nor spend cash to stream it. Word was out there that it was violent. For about 2 hours, I watched Santa act like Rambo. In the beginning of the movie, old Chris is a burnout, sitting in a saloon, drowning his liquor. About 20 minutes later, he turns into a killing machine, wiping out one after another. No matter what gets thrown at Santa, he is impervious. Stab him, beat him, shoot him. He just keeps coming back. Attempts at humor were half-baked. The sentimentally belonged in another movie. The number of movies ripped off, I lost count. A complete waste of time, ho, ho, ho. This is a person that did not understand what they were watching, and so many of the bad reviews are just people that did not understand what this movie was achieving.
I want to shove a lump of coal up that dude's ass.
I hate this portion.
That's
turns out there are a lot of people that are not fans of violent Santa.
Then they have no business even to write it.
Which is funny because this movie got great reviews and was a hit. Like,
this movie
it
did
made
great.
its money at the box office. Why we're getting the sequel? Like, it's just comical that like that they're a vocal minority is the best way to put it. Because obviously we enjoyed this. The movie did great. Like,
yeah, this hit everything someone who loves action movies loves. This is truly give me back my action movies.
Agreed.
That is this movie is pretty close to being the poster child for the podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like this one nails. And I had, again, 87 North is the second coming of action pretty much.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Because I have said that with like Nobody. I adore that movie. It felt like old school gritty
just having
action.
stuntmen being directors and
get the
involved.
people that understand what
That's
they're
what
making.
they do. It makes sense. That's why Day Shift works so well on Netflix because it was made by stuntmen. Like
Day
when you have stunt people that do action, like you get Sisu, which is
Sisu,
amazing and beautiful.
Still blows me away that 87 North wasn't involved with that one.
Yeah.
It's like that totally felt like it, but that means there's now influence. Now there's people that are like, oh, there are fans out here of this, not the vocal minority that shit on movies that are actually good. But they're the first to bitch about there's nothing good.
I like
in
to think
Hollywood.
those stuff
There's no
like this
movies.
is why we got John Woo back for Silent Night. Like,
I cannot wait. It should be out by the time we're talking about this and you're hearing it. But as of us recording, it's not out yet. And I am thoroughly looking forward to watching that movie. It has a high bar to reach with Violent Night. But if there's anyone out there that can do it, it's John Woo with Joel Kinnaman in the movie.
I was going to say, with Joel Kinnaman. That's the selling point.
Joel Kinnaman is one of my favorite newer actors out there right now. I give him shit for being in the RoboCop reboot. That wasn't his fault. He made a great Alec Murphy. Period. I thought I bought him as that. He was my biggest selling point. He wasn't used correctly. But him being Flag in the Suicide Squad movies, my favorite character in those, flat out. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's good. I'm sure I'll post something up in the group about it. And speaking of the group, if you want to follow along this holiday season as we count down to Christmas, because this is as of this releasing, Christmas is next week, boys. Next Monday, something like that. Yeah.
Wow. Well, Merry Christmas, everyone. And
even though we
all that
haven't had
fun
turkey
stuff.
yet, so
Yeah.
it's
No,
totally
trust me,
weird.
I was mad watching this in November before Turkey Day. I was like, this is stupid.
It's a sin in this household to start observing Christmas before Thanksgiving, but
but there's
Well,
no
we had
better
to do
movie
it.
that
We
we
had
could
to
This
have
felt
done it,
like putting out Christmas decorations while there's still Halloween decorations out, and I'm not happy about that. All
I'm
right,
still that keeps getting Halloween decorations out, keeps getting smaller and smaller every year. It's like 4th of July, boom, Halloween, boom. As soon as Halloween's not even done yet, and there's Christmas ones out. It's bullshit. I don't like it.
got to Halloween yet, and Christmas is already taken over. So that's what it felt like watching this movie before Thanksgiving.
And if you want to keep ranting with us, you can check us out over at Give Me Back My Action Movies, the podcast group. Give Me Back My Horror Movies, the podcast group. Both of those are on Facebook. We are on Instagram under both of those titles. We are on X. We're on Threads. We're on TikTok. We're on YouTube. You can even email us a Merry Christmas greeting at gmbmampod@gmail.com. Haven't busted one of those out. Thought I'd throw a little spice into it tonight. Please go check out Bucket of Chum. We got their commercial out there. It's a great show, a lot of fun. Bad Shark movies. Go rate him over on Spotify, same as us. 5 stars, Apple, everything. So, boys, we're almost there.
We did it.
We got one more for December that it's not Christmas, but there's snow, which follows our thing. We're doing Troll Hunter. We've decided, and this is something we've noticed over the past couple of years, as soon as December 25th rolls around, no one wants to listen to a Christmas podcast anymore. They don't want a Christmas episode. So we decided we're going to go right back to it just has to have snow in it.
Yeah. After this episode, Christmas is over.
Yeah. This is our Christmas episode. Download the shit out of it now, because after December 25th, no one's going to download it anymore.
I don't care if you don't download this after December 25th. Do not care one bit. Be like, yep, I get it. You're over it just as much as I am.
Exactly. So yeah, Troll Hunter next week, which is going to be a lot of fun, and a little peek behind the curtain. We're recording that here in about an hour. So it's going to be a lot of fun, just so we can take a break. And we're still kind of keeping our first of the year movie under wraps just a little bit longer. I'll let Nate decide if we're announcing that.
It'll get revealed in Troll Hunter. Don't worry, everyone.
Okay. Wanted to make sure we're prepped for it. But trust me, we're starting off 2024 with a huge blockbustery bang. So, all right, gentlemen, you ready to go stuff our stockings?
I am. So what's the good word, Charlie?
Jean-Claude Van Dipshit over here.
That's a real good one.
Hey guys, it just hit me. Like, so you know how ever since we took down the defenses and there's no more gunshots and no more like beeps and bloops, when certain words are said, and we used to be confined to a PG-13 rating before we decided to grow up, and we were allowed to go see R-rated movies by ourselves now. We can say the Die Hard catchphrase now.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. We've never done it.
Yeah, like it's always, it's basically been like a Live Free or Die Hard, where like the gunshot happens and you're like, oh, that's not what I wanted. Like, why'd you make Die Hard PG-13? Please stop doing this. That was us, and now we got our big boy pants on, and I feel like because it's Christmas, like maybe we should do the thing.
Then let's do it. We do it all together on the count of 3.
Yeah. On 3 or after 3.
Oh, damn it, Riggs. Well another Christmas movie. All right. On 3. 1, 2, 3.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Well, we really did that well.